building an OpenVPN access point, this time on Hak5.
Hello and welcome to Hak5. My name is Darren Kitchen.
Hello, my name is Shannon Morse.
It's your weekly dose of technoless. Why are you being weird?
I'm just always weird.
Being weird
This is part of my personality.
We just got back from vacation and we're getting back in the swing of things. We're not pressing any buttons today.
No,
Isn't that
we
exciting?
aren't.
Watch this.
It's super exciting.
Magically, I will turn.
Watch the camera change. There you
There
go.
it did.
Yeah.
And then when I turn back to this one,
Yay!
the neural implant really working out.
Yeah. The psychic implant.
Yes, psychic abilities.
So before we get into today's topic, we have a couple of things. First off, we are happy to announce our next pen test with Hak5. That is happening September 16th through 18th. So if you are interested in joining, again, that's going to be at the Hak5 warehouse. Really, really excited to do another pen test. Go over to pentestwithhak5.com to sign up. Their space is limited, so make sure you sign up early because it will sell out. It always does.
Yes, you can find out. Pentestwithhak5.com looks pretty good. You can get all the information about how, basically get learned up by Seb and Mubix and I, all about Metasploit, the USB Rubber Ducky, Wi-Fi Pineapple, the Land Turtle. We're going to put it all together in this little red team challenge, which is a lot of fun. And I hope to see you guys there. I've been getting calls from some people that are like, signing up, and it's just going to be good fun because we do it story-based, and there's like a big overarching mission, and it's like one of those whodunits in the holodeck or something.
And then last off, we also have some stickers.
Yes.
These aren't from a fan, though.
No, well, I'm a fan of these stickers, right?
We're big fans.
Very excited to have our very first Justin Robert Young stickers. Check that out. We got those, and let's see what else is in here. Okay, we got the Contender, which if you haven't played already, what are you doing? Stop watching the show and go play the Contender.
Yes.
Ended up playing the Contender with a bunch of Aussies in the Gold Coast.
Oh, dude, that game was so much fun.
Playing American politics board games with
Justin Robert Young?
With a bunch of Aussies.
A bunch of Aussies?
That was really interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, they have some perspectives on American politics, as it turns out.
Did you drop one? I think
I
you dropped one.
may have. We will see as the show progresses.
Okay.
But at the very least, let me go ahead and get these beautiful die-cut stickers up on the.
Yay!
I'm gonna say right next to the space shuttle.
Oh, that's
So
great. I love it.
Yep. Overlook that.
That looks awesome.
Yeah.
Here, I'll
So,
take this one out.
Today's a fun episode. We are building an OpenVPN access point.
Yeah, so
Cool concept.
tell me a little bit about OpenVPN, because I've never used it myself. I've used other VPNs, but does it work the same as other VPNs, virtual private networks?
Basic principle is yes, it absolutely does, and it's like
that one's open source, right?
It is open source. There are many different protocols for doing virtual private networks. So some of the more common ones might be PPTP, which is utter crap. Don't use it, or IPsec. And there's many different vendors in this space, whether it's Microsoft or Cisco or whatever have you. But OpenVPN over the last decade has really made a name for itself as being like the go-to open source one.
Okay.
They have a really beautiful Linux base. It's all command line, very simple to set up. I say it's simple to set up. Actually, it can be quite complicated, and we're going to dive into some more of the fun open source goodness that you can do with it.
Okay.
Today, we're kind of cheating and using one of their Clicky Bounty products that makes it really simple to set up.
Oh, it's a nice GUI interface, huh?
Yeah, we're doing a nice one with the GUI just to get started. But all of this is going to apply on the client side, whether you're using the pretty version, which they have a paid offering, that's like free for up to 2 concurrent clients, or their open source offering, which have fun, can handle infinite multiple concurrent connections and things of that nature. So the basic premise here is using a VPN, all of your traffic gets tunneled through a secure connection. Kind of like when you
secure.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean pretty good, right?
Yeah.
In this case, the technology that we're using in OpenVPN is based on TLS. Or transport layer security.
Yes.
We're talking about the SSL stuff, the little lock icon at the top of your browser when you go to a website that's HTTPS.
Yep.
So we're going to be generating certificates. We're going to be exchanging certificates and setting it up so that there's a secure tunnel between you and this. In this case, it's going to be our server in the cloud.
Yeah.
And then my security between my devices to my access point are going to be through WPA Wi-Fi encryption.
So in this case, the access point that you're using is a Wi-Fi Pineapple Nano.
Yes, this is my travel router. I use Wi-Fi Pineapple Nano. I like to do it in the tactical case with battery pack and stuff. And I'll use the second radio or even a third radio to relay a connection. So if I'm at a hotel that offers Wi-Fi, I won't connect my laptop to the hotel Wi-Fi.
You'll connect it to this and use OpenVPN to connect through to that Wi-Fi.
So the only thing exposed to the actual hotel's Wi-Fi connection is this. And then this initiates an OpenVPN connection to my server in the cloud.
Smart.
So then anything connected to this, which is really nice, it means that I don't have to set up...
Oh, so you can have multiple devices connected to that, but all of them be secure over the same OpenVPN protocol.
Yep, that's the nail on the head. That's exactly what it comes down to, is because while it may be trivial for me to set up an OpenVPN client on my Android phone and my Windows or Linux laptops, what about my Kindle? Right? What about any of the other devices that I have that connect over Wi-Fi, and I want them to be secure as well. So for my travel router, when I want everything to be going through a VPN connection, because I don't necessarily need any of these hotels, or when I travel internationally, it's none of these governments' business what I do.
Absolutely.
So if you end up in some interesting countries, use a VPN.
So today what we're actually doing is installing OpenVPN Access Server.
That's the idea, yeah. We're going to go ahead and get our server configured. We're going to set up our clients. We're going to test those connections so that we'll be ready to do the access point stuff.
Ooh, and then what are we doing next week?
That's the access point stuff.
The access point stuff? All right.
It's all OpenWRT based. I'm using a Wi-Fi Pineapple. Of course, you could use any OpenWRT based device. For this, and we're going to set up the routing and talk about how all of that works.
Cool.
And this is really fun stuff. In fact, it's good for not even just a travel router, but I actually use this at home.
How do you use it at home?
So my actual my Wi-Fi access point at home is a Wi-Fi Pineapple Nano.
Really?
Yeah, it's in fact one of the early dev units when we were first developing the device. So I like to, I have months and months of uptime on this thing, which is sad because I'm gonna have to reboot it soon.
Aww.
But anyway, that notwithstanding, I don't have a traditional internet connection at home.
Oh.
I use I just tether a phone to my Wi-Fi Pineapple, and I just use my old cell phone as a modem because I get better LTE speeds than I would DSL.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and with my wireless carrier's plan, I've got unlimited data.
Unlimited.
But what they started doing is they started throttling if it's streaming video in certain instances, and that's kind of a pain.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
My plan is to just go ahead and tunnel everything through the OpenVPN server through the Wi-Fi Pineapple, and then the carrier won't know the difference between if it's streaming video. They can't do if they do deep packet inspection.
They can't see what the data is.
Yeah,
they can just see that you're there.
They're just going to see TLS data.
Okay.
They're not going to know what's inside of it.
That's awesome.
And so hopefully they don't throttle that. We'll find out. Stay tuned for that.
Are we ready to get started?
We are ready to get started. So I'm using a virtual private server in the cloud. As you can see here, I'm SSH'd into it. It is called Twist Avenue because I use the NSA codename generator to.
Twist Avenue.
No, seriously though, if you haven't already, NSA name generator, and you can just refresh this, and you just always get awesome
Color
names.
Celeste. Ooh, I like Color Celeste.
Right?
That sounds like a great screen name.
Mm-hmm.
Color Celeste.
Yes, post in the comments
Brain
your
owner.
favorite. Some of them get naughty. So anyway, I've got this set up here, and it's completely empty because I just wiped it. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing that we're going to need to do is download a copy of the access point server. So you can find that over swupdate.openvpn.org. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and link this in the show notes. But all right, so as long as you don't fat finger that, you can go ahead and download your deb file now. And as you can see, there we are. It's just a matter of doing dpkg tac-i to install that particular package that we just downloaded.
Cool.
All right, and so the installation is complete. You get some information here. Here's the thing. It's actually not. It's totally messed up, but there's a way to fix this.
Oh.
So first of all, we're going to need an OpenVPN user, and it actually tells us here we need to just go ahead and set up a password for it. So I'll just go ahead and set a password for OpenVPN. All right, and then we need to reconfigure the server. So it does the configuration by default, but it messes it up. So it's
How does it mess it up?
It just does, or at least if you are using DigitalOcean is my provider, and it messes it up for some reason, and I'm going to show you
some
why.
reason.
You know what it is it gets the wrong interface.
So it's assuming that you want it like a certain configuration, and it just screws it up in the process.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is if I do an if config here, you'll see I have several different interfaces, and it always chooses the wrong one. So by default, so if I do this reconfiguration command, and then I am asked to type delete, till I confirm, like, yes, I'm going to be deleting my entire config. And I get prompted to go through this setup wizard type of thing where I'm like, yeah, I'll accept your EULA. And basically saying yes for all the defaults except for where we specify which interface we're actually going to be listening on. And this can be easily solved by choosing all interfaces or 0.0.0.0. Oh. So I choose one, and then it's basically just go with the defaults for the rest of that. And then everything will work. So there you go. That's how you make it all like not totally broken, which is fun.
That's kind of funny.
The rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. It just tells you right here when it finishes that it says, you know, after you've set this up, here's your admin UI. And so I'm just going to go ahead and, sorry, I'm doing this in Windows for some god-awful reason. But there we go. And of course, so it's saying like, hey, here's the admin UI. And then here's the client UI. And so it's just the IP address of your OpenVPN, like whatever your virtual private server is. And then, you know, :943 for the port number and /admin if you're doing the admin interface.
Okay.
All right. So if I come over to Chrome, of course, it's going to throw a hissy fit because it's a self-signed certificate. So you have to go to advanced and say yes, go ahead and proceed. And now we can log in as OpenVPN.
Yay! And this is the password that you just set?
It's the password that we had previously set up, and then once again agree to the EULA. And there we go. Our server is running.
Yay!
We're all set.
That's awesome.
Now all we have to do is start adding users, and we can dial in.
That was surprisingly easy.
It is. You should take a look at the steps involved in setting up OpenVPN vanilla, like not the access server.
Yeah. Because this one is the nice, friendly GUI. It's like, oh, how convenient for all the users.
I feel like we should do the other one just because it's important to understand the steps of like what it's doing in the background. It has a beautiful interface, you know, similar to the Wi-Fi Pineapple. It's awesome interface, but it's also important to understand what's going on deep down inside to have a better understanding of how, you know, attacks work and things of that nature. So we'll go back and redo this using the vanilla one so you can understand like building. Yeah, most of it is really just building your certificates.
That's okay.
Which is
I like to know those things. Yeah, it's good. Let's get geeky.
Let's get geeky. All right. Well, for right now, what we need to do is set you up with a user account so that you can dial into this VPN. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and nice. That's right. You switched to Ubuntu.
I did switch to Ubuntu.
Nice. How's that been going?
It's been going great.
All right.
I have not needed anything on Windows for the past couple of months.
So wait, what happened here was I switched from Linux to Windows and you switched from Windows to Linux. Go figure. All right. I blame Adobe. Once again.
Yeah, I blame Adobe.
So what we're going to do is we just need to configure our user settings in the OpenVPN server over here. So if I come down here to under user management and or actually under authentication and go to general, you'll notice that we have several different authentication types that will allow us to do. PAM, Radius, LDAP, all of those are different.
LDAP!
LDAP is kind of FLDAP, but it's kind of cool if you're in a kind of like a Microsoft, you know, center. If you're part of a domain and you've got, you know, like a Active Directory, you could hook into that so that you can use the same sign-in information for all of your users.
Okay.
Right? Because we know that users hate remembering additional passwords.
Yeah.
We're going to just create something locally because we don't want to have to bother tying it into PAM or Radius or LDAP. So I'm just going to choose local here.
Okay.
And then save those settings and then update the running server. Then under user permissions, here's where we actually add a user. So I'm going to add one for Snurbs. Is it SNURBS?
Yes, that is my alternate
That's, most people don't know this.
Snurbs.
Snurbs.
And
I'm going to check this box for allow auto login. Save that setting.
You know I can memorize passwords, right?
Well, right. Well, in fact, we're still going to need to set up a password because I have to click on to show next to Snurbs now.
Snurbs.
And set you a password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Ooh, 8-character password.
Yeah, all digits. And
that's
then
a tough one.
Save settings.
No, I can memorize that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to delete that account when we air this segment. Okay, and then save those settings. Okay, so everything is saved and all ready to go. And so at this point, we're gonna take a quick break because when we get back, you're gonna dial into the VPN.
Yay!
Using a VPN is always a great idea, and if you have a great idea and want to get it on the internet, do what Shannon and I do. Head over to domain.com. They have an epic domain discovery system that'll help you find the right domain, and their checkout process is super simple, which means you'll be up and online in no time flat. And get this, the guys over at domain.com, huge fans of Hak5, they want to hook you up with 20% off. All you have to do is use the coupon code HAK5, that spells Hak5, at checkout, and save yourself a bundle. And you know what? Go ahead and tweet them. Tweet at domain.com and say, hey, thanks for supporting Hak5 all these years. And when you think domain names, think domain.com.
We're back, and it's now time to set up the first client on the VPN server. And that client is going to be me.
Which is going to be fun, too, because you're using Linux. So
Yay!
There we go. The instructions are going to differ ever so slightly if you are on OS X or Windows, but actually on those, it's so self-explanatory. It's next, finish. That this is going to make it so much more fun.
So mine is the harder one.
Yes. So in this case, all you need to do is go to the user login, similar to how I went to the admin login.
Oh.
So that address is going to be, or in our case, HTTPS 159.203.210.247.
210 dot, what was it?
247.
247.
:943. So on port number 943. And it is 159.203.210.247.
943.
And it's HTTPS. There we go.
There it goes.
Great. So now just log in.
I'm Snurbs, right?
You are Snurbs.
And my password was
it's
really
an epic
easy.
password. Yeah, absolutely.
Go.
Cool. So here we're prompted like, hey, how do you want to connect? Because you're on Linux. No. So what you want to do is actually download the auto login profile. So you see the connection. So at the very bottom where it says yourself.
User locked
not
auto
on,
login.
The auto login. So go ahead and download that.
Okay.
It's going to give you a client.ovpn file. So that should just be in your downloads folder, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So it's just a text file. And actually, if you scroll through this, you can see basically what this is all of the directives as well as all the certificates.
And a private key.
Yep. Okay, all in one file. And so because we have all of those certificates in this file, we don't need to enter in the password every time we connect, which makes this great for automation and deployment on embedded systems and things of that nature.
Okay.
So the rest of it is just basically getting the OpenVPN client installed.
Oh, yay.
So for Linux, it's actually just sudo apt-get install OpenVPN if you're on a Debian-based system. Yeah.
So sudo apt-get install, and it was what? OpenVPN? OpenVPN.
All right, and so now go ahead and move to your downloads directory.
Okay.
All right, and you should have that OVPN file there.
I have all sorts of things in here.
Oh man, I bet you do. Well, in that case, what we're gonna do, there it is, client.ovpn.
Okay.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and actually test first what IP address you're coming from. Okay. Right, so in your browser, open a new tab and go to 159.203.210.247:9191.
9191. Support 9191.
Yep, /test.php. Okay, so this
2.158, what does that mean?
Right, so what that means is your IP address that you're browsing from right now ends in those last 4 characters.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Wait, so I don't have to use IP Chicken to find my IP address?
You could go to ipchicken.com and it'll tell you your IP address.
But this way I just see the last 4.
But because we're being catty here, we're only showing the last few characters. It's like burlesque.
Nice.
For IP addresses.
You're weird.
Learn something new in Hak5. So that little PHP script is going to give us the last couple of characters of our IP address.
Cool. All right.
And that means we don't have to do any blurring in post.
That's awesome.
What I'd like you to do now is go ahead and dial in. And very simply, all you have to do is OpenVPN config that file. So in your terminal.
In my terminal, okay.
Go ahead and do OpenVPN space --config space client.ovpn.
That's it.
That's it. And you can see it goes ahead and it verifies everything and it gets a fatal error because operation not permitted. Oh, hey, let's do that with root access.
Man.
All right.
Every single time.
And in just a moment, you're going to see it set up our routing and everything. And our initialization sequence is complete. And you see all of those IP route add commands down there at the bottom?
Yeah, I do.
So what that does is sets your default gateway, which means if we go back to your browser now, and you can see it is the IP address of our OpenVPN server.
0247. Awesome.
There you go. Which means now you're successfully a client of the VPN and all of your traffic is going through it, which is fantastic for just your laptop.
That's awesome.
And we're going to take it a step further next week when we make it so that our Wi-Fi access point is going to allow any client of it to go through this VPN server.
That
really
was
fun and
really
fantastic.
neat.
So if you have questions and such, leave them in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. Of course, a like, a share, a subscribe, that goes a long way too. So thank you so much for the last almost 11 years of awesome technology. Hak5.org to find all the more details and show notes on this, as well as the huge back catalog of lots of good stuff involving VPNs and other geek things.
All the geek things. And then, of course, thank you to everybody who supports us through the Hack Shop. That's over at hakshop.com. You can go over there and you can find your own Wi-Fi pineapples and all sorts of other super awesome Hak5 gadgetry. We're also going to DEF CON this year.
That should be
and
really
we will
fun.
be bringing our Hack Shop with us, all of our Hak5 products. So super excited to meet everybody at DEF CON. If you are going to be there, definitely stop by the booth. It'll most likely be interesting. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm also going to end on, I think I found the very best NSA name, Authority Finger.
Ew,
Yeah.
Authority Finger.
Yeah.
Gross.
All right.
That's weird.
Hey, it's actually
You're weird,
it's a
Darren.
Unix command. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just end it here. Okay?
So with all of that said, I'm Darren Kitchen.
I'm Shannon Morse.
Trust your Technolust.
Oh.